Welcome back to AlcineXtreme's Trying to Fit In. This podcast is all about being your life compass for fitness and life. Today, I'm super excited to have my guest, Garrett. He is one of my clients. As you guys can tell, I always use my clients because they're awesome. And I want to apologize in advance. We did miss the October episode, but I have a good reason. It was my birth month, also my son's birth month. So yeah, we were busy in October, but we're starting strong with November, and why not start strong with a man this month? So welcome, Garrett.
well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here. So how long have you been training with me?
Oh, it's been over a year. It's
Awesome.
been over a year. You've been a blessing.
Oh, don't make me blush.
It's true.
So how long? Okay, so you've been with me for over a year, and what was the total weight loss so far?
I think about 60. It was
And
about
what was
60 pounds.
Yeah, and that's even with the ups and downs of life happening while you were trying to fit everything in, correct?
Oh my God. Getting sick multiple times. Getting out of a bad relationship, which brought on depression. Um, Laid off, getting injured, trying to find a job. I mean, you and I joke all the time about how every time I start feeling a sniffle or something, I need to get a bubble. I need to invest in a bubble because I get
Yep.
sick often.
Yes,
I
Garrett
get
is my
sick often.
AKA bubble boy.
I do. And no matter what I do, I just keep getting sick, but still keep going.
Yep. And that is the one thing that I've always admired about you is even though, yes, life has been beating you up, you still have found that little bit of ounce of keep going. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes sometimes. Life is going to happen. You can't always have it perfect. I mean, of course, ideally, when we're working towards our goals, we want it to be okay. I'm going to wake up at 5 every morning and drink my shake and have my water, and it's going to be sunshine and rainbows, and I'm going to get to my goal in 3 months like I want. And for some people, yeah, they're able to have that linear success, but for the majority of people, linear success is a dream.
Yeah. And I mean, another example is I just got over a knee injury. So before, when we first started and I got injured, I wouldn't do anything.
Right.
Like, I'm sitting in the room, I'm doing planks, push-ups, I'm walking, just doing different things that'll help out. And then I know like my nutrition is difficult for me to have like protein shakes. Like a lot of people go to protein shakes. I get nauseous off of that.
Right.
But you've given me so many different alternatives that help. That's why I say you've been a blessing in more ways than one.
Something else I want to talk about too is let's talk about the family sabotaging you with your nutrition.
Ooh. Yeah. So I'll sit up here, I'll make a healthy dish. Yeah, whether it's my parents, my sister, or well, not even my sister. It was more so my parents. What they've gotten a lot better now, though. But they used to come behind me and so like, "Oh, you don't need to eat this. You're fine." And then try to tell me I need to have fried chicken and collard greens and stuff that I'm not supposed to be eating. So they used to come through that all the time. And then you talk bad about my health. I mean, what I'm eating, but then in turn, in the middle of the night, come snack on my healthy stuff.
You
But they
know,
don't do that anymore.
I found that when people close to you do that, because this is more common than you think, where family and friends will sabotage when you're trying to make a lifestyle change. And I found that the reason why they do that is because now they have to be held accountable. To their choices. So then when they see you doing something, you tell them no. Now it's like they have to be accountable to what they're doing. So if they feel like if they could bring you back to the old you of, well, if you're eating bad, then they don't have to take accountability for their health now because, well, now you're doing it. And
Yeah.
then of course they do. I mean, obviously everybody wants to be healthy. I don't know nobody in this world who doesn't want to be healthy. Now, as far as the execution of becoming healthy, that is not as easy, but I know everybody ideally would like to, live a healthier lifestyle. So it's easy when someone's already prepping the meal and all you have to do is eat it,
That's
versus
true.
having to do it yourself. So I think that's the reason why a lot of people find themselves in that position of the self-sabotage. Like, it's funny, my mom, she talks about my dad's retired military. He was in the army for 30 years, so that's 30 years of PT, running, and cutting weight to make weight, and be able to not get taped and all this other stuff. So he did that for 30 straight years, then got out the military, and then he started working for the city in Okaloosa County, Florida. And my dad, he's a big guy. He loves buffets, and he's the type of person, when we go to a buffet, you get your money's worth, and he's not a big vegetable eater. Like, he likes meat. And I mean, it's to the point where at one point my dad went to a buffet and actually got the people got upset because they said that he ate too much meat, like,
Oh, wow.
because they want to, because the meat's the expensive part, so
Yeah,
they want you to
absolutely.
fill up on the vegetables and all the sides. And my dad's like, nah, like, I want the ribs. And
Yeah.
so now that he's retired, now he's fully retired now, like, he's not working at all. My mom said that, like, he's always going to go out to eat. And, my mom, she's like, no, like, we need to make healthier choices. But my dad is like, oh, come on, babe. Like, I love you. Let's go have a nice dinner together. And she doesn't want to tell him no because he's trying to be sweet and romantic. But at the same time, it's like, it's now showing up on the waistline,
Right. Right.
and it's, and of course he's not, I don't think that my dad's intentionally trying to sabotage my mom. I think he's just, that's just his love language is food.
Yeah.
They talk about the five love languages, but it's actually six. I think food is a true love language.
It
You
is. It is. It is. And I mean, here, whether it was a family or friends, they weren't intentionally trying to do it, but that was their love language, or that was what they're comfortable with around seeing me when we hung out, stuff like that. Like, I would go to bars with friends, and we just Long Island's off the yin yang. And but now it's like, all right, if I go to a bar with them, I'm only having one drink,
yeah,
and that's it. And now a lot of them have started to follow suit.
yeah,
So it's like I have family and friends telling me, "Oh, I see a difference in you, your body, and all this other stuff." And now they're following suit, trying to get their health up and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
that's awesome. I love that you're being an impact to your friends and family. Like, that's a beautiful thing, because not everybody is willing to jump on the bandwagon of health all the time. Some people, it will actually cause people to separate sometimes, where they're like, oh, you're being too healthy. I know I found when I started doing bodybuilding, that was of course the most strictest I had ever been in my fitness life, because I mean, there was no cheating.
Yeah.
I remember one time, my one of the girls on my bodylifting team, she made these like protein balls. It was like oatmeal with like protein and PB2. It was really, really good. And my coach would not let me have it because it had too much sugar for me. Like, I
Wow.
wasn't allowed to have anything more than 5 grams of sugar in it. Like, that's how low sugar I was. I wasn't allowed to have anything with more than 5 grams of sugar. So I wasn't even allowed to have chewing gum that has sugar in it.
Ooh.
Couldn't even have it. So when I'll tell you how strict I was, so it was to the point where I have and I still have my meal prep bag, where I would prep my meals for the day when I would go to work. I would prep my meals when I would go hang out with my friends. So whenever they were eating whatever, I am pulling out my little dish, and I mean, and it was funny because at first, they were like, oh my gosh, you'll be fine just one meal. You'll be fine with this one meal. But I'm like, no, like, I'm trying to get on the stage, and
Right.
my coach, he was so, like, his name is Maurice Hamler, and I love Maurice. I miss, he was probably my favorite besides my powerlifting coach. He was my favorite coach I ever had in my life. He was mean as all get out, like, but when I tell you, he got me to the best point of my life I've ever been, the best health I've ever been, the strongest I've ever been, the leanest I've ever been. But he was so, so strict, and I mean, he could tell if I cheated. He could tell if I didn't drink enough water just by the way my skin looked, you know, or if
Mhm.
I was retaining water. He could tell. He'd be like, "Go sit in the sauna." You know? And, like, I
Yeah.
remember one day I was on the Stairmaster because, like, in my old gym back in Germany, where the Stairmaster was, it was in the so we had the basketball court, and then, like, there was, like, this, like, stairway, and then the Stairmaster was, like, up, so you could kinda look over the basketball court, but under the Stairmaster, where it was at, under was his office. So he could hear the Stairmaster. So if I started to slow down the Stairmaster, because he had me on it for an hour a day, if I started to slow it down, I'd hear him with the broom hitting it, the bottom of the
Wow.
ground, speed up the Stairmaster.
Wow.
But yeah, like my friends, like when I was doing it, like I had a lot of friends just kind of stop dealing with me because I was no longer fun because I wasn't drinking. Like I had stopped drinking for 2 straight years because it took me 2 years to get to the stage. Because the first year, I started training, I let my I let my mental get the best of me. I was
Yeah,
in a bad relationship, I was in a bad marriage, and my coach flat out told me, he was like, "F him, it's about you, get selfish," you know? And so the second year, that's what I did. Said F him, I got about me, and I made it to the stage. But yeah, like I did notice a lot of people that were not, supportive, just start kind of drifting away, drifting away,
that's what.
drifting away.
Yeah, you always definitely lose some. Like there's some that have drifted away from me too, but at the same time, it's like they would get mad at me. Well, not necessarily mad, but get blown. Like, okay, you're at the gym on a Friday night instead of hanging out with us. Yeah,
Well, come hang out with me at the gym,
that's what I told him.
you know? Like, instead of going to that bar, meet me at the bar,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely,
you know?
absolutely. I
Like, we
had
can go
one
to the
person
bar, just not the bar that you wanna go to.
right. I had one person that actually came with me on a Friday night one time instead of going
It's
to the bar. He told me I'm doing too much. I said, nah, this isn't even enough.
doing too much. I've never.
Yeah.
So, my next question for you is, what made you choose a female trainer? As a male, what made you choose a female trainer?
At first when I chose you, it wasn't more so about male, female. I was looking for somebody who was genuine. I came across previous trainers who would be like, who would just be too just gung ho with it, and sometimes wouldn't listen to. Like I had a consultation with one trainer guy, and he said, "I already know what the problem is. You eat too much." I said, "I'm fat. I could have told you that shit myself."
I'm sorry.
I'm like, but it was true. But then, as a way, I guess, of his way of motivating, he started to be berating in a way.
Mm,
And I was like, no.
yeah.
Then there was somebody else who was another guy who was like, yeah, after your first workout with me, it'll determine whether or not I choose you as my client. And I'm like, really? I'm like, okay. Then I had a consultation with somebody else, and he was like, um, he doesn't think I'd be a right fit for him because he trains mainly females. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I spoke to you, and you were the most honest, genuine, caring person that I spoke with in regards to training and exercise. There were a lot of people who would say, yeah, just listen to me. I'll take you to your goals. Just listen to me. You do it this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And you say, I have a bad knee. I can't do that. They'd be like, so what? Just do it.
Right.
And I've the gym I go to, I'm actually cool with some of the trainers in there now. And even now, the way they train some of them, it's like you're not even watching your client on the machine. You're sitting up here just like this. Oh, I've seen one trainer cut their session short by about 10 minutes because they had to go somewhere. Whereas with you, you understood the struggle of what it's been like and compassion about trying to maintain weight, go up and down and the roller coaster and stuff. And then on top of that, our consultation, you had me just by your words alone, had me ready to run through a brick wall.
That's awesome.
And I said, okay, she's it. She's it. And I told you, after that, you turned it, your family now.
Right. Yep, you're my brother for life now.
You daggone right. Daggone right. And not only that, but then when you compare what you offered compared to what other trainers were offering, huge difference, night and day. Night and day. For like a quarter of what you offered, other trainers I would have been paying quadruple more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was one trainer and he was cool, but he was like 500 a session for an hour and a half.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I didn't get nutritional value out of it. I didn't get the mental health part out of it. I didn't get any of that.
Dang.
And some of these other trainers, I felt like, okay, I can't deal with them. Like with you, one of the things that's always stuck with me, and you've told me this from our first consultation all the way up until this point. If I have a bad day, whether it's I ate too many, I had instead of a little portion of French fries, I ate a whole plate. Or if I instead of one Long Island, I had three. Or if I didn't eat enough throughout the day, if I didn't drink enough water, you told me from that first consultation, you all the way up until this point, once you lay your head down at night, fuck it, don't think about it and move to the next day.
Yep. Yep. Because you can't change what's done. What is it is what it is at that point. All you can do is try to do better the next day. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
not to say
just do a little bit better the next day.
absolutely, and not to say I'm advocating to, just completely be off your meal
Right.
plan and nothing like that. But it was starting with that mentality that helped me out a lot, a lot. And it's little things that you've done and you said from our first consultation all the way up until this point that have helped me tremendously.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that. I was thinking about what you were saying when you said about those other trainers. I have, of course, a lot of trainer friends. And one of my really good friends, his name is Roy, and he actually has his own gym out in Virginia. And the way we met, we were in this what I got certified in this certification called ripped. It's actually my favorite class I used to teach back in the day. It's a multidisciplinary class. You're getting cardio, strength training, kickboxing, and nutrition with that class. Like it's a one-stop body shock. And he used to be a master trainer for it. My goal was to be a master trainer, but I didn't fit their image of a master trainer, even though I was the one who brought Rip to Germany. I had classes of over 80 people, but they didn't feel like I fit the image. So it is what it is. But Roy, he actually broke off from Ripped. He created his own format called Fusion 6. And he actually sold his format to a hospital. And like, I mean, he's a phenomenal trainer. Like he's great. Like, so of course, I'm friends with him for a lot of reasons. One, because he's an awesome person. Two, because I always want to learn from other people too. And he's been doing it a lot longer than me. But he on his Facebook, he always posts, educational things. And he'll post things for debate. So the other day he had posted, he was talking about online coaching, and he said, this is cancel court, and he tagged me in it because he knows I'm an online, trainer, and basically was asking like, do people feel that like online coaches, are they there for the money? Or are they there to actually make a difference, and how hard it is to train as an online coach? Because obviously it is more challenging to train someone online because I can't, manipulate you in fixed form and things like that, especially if we're doing like, just the plan and you're following the app, I have to trust that, you're doing things right unless you tell me something feels off, but,
Mm.
I was telling him like, what he of course tagged me in, and I was like, oh yes, I'm ready to give my answer on this, because, I watch a lot of people on social media. Obviously, I'm always on social media for my own business, so of course I'm watching other people. There are a few trainers out there that I'm like, yes, we should be friends because you're like me. And then there's some where I'm just like, what are you doing? There is this new thing where everybody wants to sell their packages, their signature package.
Yes.
Now, I have one, but I don't market it. Why? Because honestly, most of the people that I train when they come through, they don't need that. They need something more individualized. You know,
Mhm.
a signature package to me is a cookie cutter plan. Like, okay, 90 days and you're going to get this, this, and this, and this, and this, and you will get what you want in 90 days. No, most people are not going to get where they need to be in 90 days. I'm just being completely real. You
That
will
is
get
true.
really far in 90 days, especially if you're consistent in 90 days. But what happens after the 90 days? Like if you commit to 90 days and that's what you said, okay, I'm going to pay, $2,000 for 90 days. After you spent your $2,000 and after you got your 90 days, are you trying to spend more money after that? Like that's a lot of money, like you're probably not. You're probably just gonna be like, okay, you know what? I got what I needed. I'm gonna try to do this on my own. And you're gonna fall off because now you've lost the accountability, you've lost your buy-in. There's so much stuff and then you just fall off. And then now you're recycling and now you're spending more money to get back where you need to be. And I don't believe in that anymore. Like I said, I have one, I wrote one. I don't really, I mean, I like it for people who just want a plan
Right.
and they just want something, just a package deal to just get them going. I will sell it then at that point. But for someone who is like, okay, look, I genuinely need help, like I don't know where to start. These are my goals. Be honest with me. How long is it going to take? Yeah, that's where that consultation comes in. That's where we figure out a real plan of action. Do I want everybody training with me forever? No. In fact, I tell everybody in the consultation, I do not want you to be with me forever. Do I have clients stay with me forever? Yes. AKA Kristen, who's been training with me since 2015. She won't leave me.
I won't either, so I'll be
Yeah,
there
so
to.
I have people that will stay, and then I also have people that have moved on, and like in fact, I got a message today. One of my friends, she just became an ISSA certified personal trainer.
Oh, that's what's up.
I was like, oh my god, like girl, I'm so proud of you. She was like, well, you inspired me to do it. I'm like, yay, because I mean, I love that I can get someone to love fitness so much to the point where they're like, okay, now I want to change people's lives. You changed my life. I want to pay that forward. So yeah, I'm all for anybody who wants to go down this path. It's not an easy one, but it is a fulfilling one. But yeah, like, and something else you said too about the trainers, about the berating. So when I first became a group exercise instructor, I mimicked the instructors that I liked. You know, I love those instructors that challenge me, that say, "Oh yeah, you can't do this." Or like my bodybuilding coach, he used to call me a punk when I couldn't do something. He's like, "Oh, so you're being a punk," and it would piss me off so bad that I had to prove him wrong. But I learned that not everybody is motivated that way. Okay. So when I would teach my classes, like let's say they were getting tired, I would go up to them and be like, come on, and get in their face. Some people like that. I learned one day, not everybody likes that. So I did this to this one girl, and I'll never forget her. Her name is Cynthia, and I hope that she's listening to this because we're still friends to this day. She ended up becoming a cycle instructor later on down the road, but she was pregnant at the time. She didn't tell me she was pregnant. When you're taking a group exercise class, for the people that are listening, your instructor needs to know if you're pregnant, if you have any injuries, you need to tell them these things, because when they're teaching group exercise, it is a blanket thing. Okay.
Mhm.
So I got into her face because she had stopped. We were doing intervals. It was high intensity intervals. So her heart rate was really, really high up, and she sat down immediately, which is very, very dangerous. You could create what's called blood pooling. You could pass out. Like you should never just go from high heart rate and just stop and sit down. You should never do that. Yes, you're going to be tired. Put your arms over your head and walk around till you get your heart rate down. Like don't ever just sit down. So when she did that, I'm like, girl, no, 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 you got to stand up, stand up, stand up. She got embarrassed because she felt as if I called her out in the middle of the class. So she just walked out. And I just looked and I'm like, whatever, I continued the class. Like, one person ain't gonna stop the show. Finish the class. She comes up to me after the class and she goes, I didn't appreciate you calling me out like that. I am pregnant. And if I need to take a break, I will. And I'm like, whoa, first of all, the fact that you are pregnant is even more reason why you shouldn't have just sat down like that. And I was like, I wish you would have told me that, because I would have given you alternatives to do so that you wouldn't have felt that way, to where you had to stop like that, you
Right.
know. But she was mad for like a couple of months. And then, I mean, obviously she got over it, because like I said, we're friends now. But like, because of her though, that's what taught me that I can't just go up to everybody in their face and motivate them that way. So then I learned, as I did group exercise, I could tell who I could do that to. Like Kristen, for example, in my cycle classes, because Kristen
Mhm.
used to take my cycle classes, her I could call out. I'm like, Kristen, you're going too slow. I'm going faster than you. What's your RPMs? I could do that to her. It would motivate her. Other people, I would look at them and then I would give a statement to the class. Make sure that you're keeping your chest up. And just look at them like, that was for you, but I'm not calling you out. But that's what I would do. I learned that not everybody's motivated the same way, but this is something I think that it just comes with experience. And I've learned too that, just, for being a trainer as long as I have been, especially seeing through social media these new trainers that they look the part, but they
So,
don't have the experience to train the people they want to train. And then the third
mhm.
thing you said was, some of the trainers you talked to, they were choosing their clients. Now that is true. Every trainer does choose their clients. I can say I choose my clients too. I will tell you the clients I will not work with. The people that come to me with unrealistic goals, I will not work with them. Like, not at all. You tell
I
me you want
see.
3 pounds in a month, it's not happening. You know, like
Right.
it's, and then like, some people like because I actually had a client, and I mean, I love her to death. I still love her to death. She annoys the bejesus out of me because of the things that I see her doing. I watch her on social media and I'm like, but like she trained with me for 2 months. She did get results, but they weren't fast enough for her. So then she
Mhm.
started doing all this fad diet and fad machines and wood rolling. And I'm just like, and then like what's sad is like I look at, her now and I'm like, she's a little bit bigger than when she was training with me, you know,
Right.
and it's because she's doing all this yo-yo stuff. But, I've learned too, I gotta let some people just do their thing. This is not for me to go out and call you out and, oh, I'm not gonna do that. I'm still gonna support her. I'm still gonna like, her posts. I'm still gonna be there for her whenever she needs, me, whenever she wants to come back to me, or if she has a question for me. I'm still gonna be there for her. Now there is a person on TikTok that I really, really like as a trainer because she's super knowledgeable, but I don't like because she will call people out and make them feel bad about what they're doing.
Mhm.
You know, like I said, the girl's super knowledgeable, super knowledgeable. Can't take it away from her. Like she knows her stuff, but she will call out trainers and just, discredit them. And for me, I don't think that's a good way to build your business.
Right.
You know, like for me, like for example, the client I'm actually talking about, she had posted the TikTok, this is about a year ago, where she had gained weight over the weekend and she couldn't understand why. Like she's like, I was drinking my water, I was exercising, da da da. Why did I gain 3 pounds over the weekend? And she was really depressed about it. So I stitched her video to not only give her the answer, but to give everybody else that same answer, because I'm pretty sure other people have that same question, like, how did I gain weight over the weekend? You know, but I didn't do it to, oh, you messed up. It was okay. This is what happened. This is what you got to do now. I believe in you. You got this. Keeping it encouraging, because she's already feeling some type of way. She doesn't need to be, picked on per se.
Right.
And
Right.
I find that a lot of trainers, like that's what they're doing now on social media, where they're they're either, like I said, discrediting other trainers, picking on people who are working out and don't know what they're doing. I absolutely cannot stand that. I
Yeah.
cannot stand like gym fails. I cannot stand that. Yes, there's some people there doing some stuff that come on, like some of them I'm like, okay, you know what you were doing. You knew that was wrong. You know the machine's
Yeah.
not supposed to be used that way.
Yeah. Some of them are attention getters. That's all it is.
Right.
Yeah.
But then there's some people who genuinely have no idea and they're just trying to move. And for me personally, if I was in that gym and I saw somebody doing something that was incorrect, I would offer them assistance. Like, hey, what is your goal here? Like, what are you trying to work? You can get a better activation if you do X, Y, and Z. I'd rather do that and educate them versus make fun of them and post them on social media for other people to make fun of, because that's not helping them. Now all you've
That,
done is discourage that person from ever going back to the gym, and now they're whatever they were, trying to work through. Now they're going to go backwards. I mean, it's people are mean. Like,
people are
they're
mean.
just mean.
People are mean. And then the other thing too is in this social media era we live in, people do things for clicks too. And I was at the gym before and I'm lifting and I saw a trainer with his client and he told him the guy was on like his last rep from doing the bench press and he was struggling to get it up. Instead of spotting him properly and bringing it up, the trainer told him, "Don't be a bitch and come on and push up like that." And he looked, and the guy got up off the bench and looked like he was ready to fight, which I understand because you don't talk to anybody like that.
Oh,
And I'm not trying to put trainers in a bubble like that and stuff because I've come across and met, like I said, I'm cool at the gym with a few trainers, and I've come across them and I've met them, and they're cool and they treat their clients really well. But before choosing you, I ran into so many that were just, ugh, and just made me feel like I wasn't ever going to achieve my goals on what I want. I never came to anybody and said, I need to lose 30 pounds in such and such time. I just wanted to be healthy. And you work with me on an individual plan that from the jump we just went and just started getting it and still get it. And even when I have my ups and downs and my numbers ain't where I'm at, I always remember there are other things to show my progress, like I'm not on thyroid medicine anymore. I'm not pre-diabetic anymore. My strength has basically quadrupled like crazy. Like I told you, I'm pushing up 75 pounds on the bench press. And then when I started with you, it was like 35 pounds. And I'm like, damn, I must have been a wimp back then. So you remember things like that too.
yeah.
And so that's another reason why I'm glad I chose you, because you keep me accountable. Even online coaching, you keep me accountable. Like I'll get a text message and I'll get a meme or something like, damn, I done messed
What's
up.
the meme I send? Is it a specific one? What's the one I send?
Nope.
Snoop Dogg, drive by.
But it's like, working with you, it's like you always want to make sure you do right because you've been there in more ways than one. And I'm sure many of your other clients say the same thing. You've been there for us in more ways than one. And we never want to feel like we end up disappointing you or anything like that. That's how much you motivate us. Especially me. I was fat, just laying in the bed, depressed, not doing nothing. And I mean, you really got me from here to here. And I'm gonna get here with you. And even if I have to buy a bubble, get a new knee, something. I mean, like one thing I used to do, one change that I made, and I'm just one thing you told me, look for little ways to make changes. And one thing I've done is with these long hours I put in at work, even when I'm at the office, I'll eat while I'm at my desk before lunchtime and then go walk around at lunchtime and spend my whole lunch hour just walking around.
That's awesome. And that's all it takes. Like, a lot of people think that they have to do all these like crazy, you know, super intense, super elaborate workouts, and a walk can change your life. I'm all for a walk, I mean, if that's all you can do, you know, one of my favorite things that I do, especially when I don't have a lot of time, are AMRAPs, which is as many reps as possible. I'll do 4 exercises and I'll do, or as many rounds. It could be as many reps or as many rounds. I do as many rounds as possible. Do 4 exercises. I put the timer on for 15 minutes and I try to do as many rounds of the exercises I can. So maybe it's like, a squat press with, reverse lunge with bicep curl, something like that. And I'll do like 10, reps of each and try to get as many rounds as I can in 15 minutes nonstop. And you want to talk about getting your heart rate up, and it's,
That'll do it.
but it's something, and I always tell everybody it's something's better than nothing. Don't
Yep.
feel like you're a failure because you didn't get to complete your workout. Because I've had, some clients that get upset because they're like, well, I'm not going to be able to finish it because, something happened. Well, life happens. Get what you can get done. Do something. Something's better than nothing,
Yep.
and I'll just try to complete it, and if that's the goal is to complete, one workout a week and try to hit the rest of them. I mean, that's what it is. And you just increase your goal every week. I mean, it's like I said, it's not going to be perfect. Success is never really linear. For those that it happens to be, they're just super lucky and God, they're God's favorite and we don't like them. But, most of us, it's not linear. It never is. I mean, I have been doing this fitness thing since 2009. I've gone up in weight. I've gone down. I went back up. I've gone down. This year, I did the 75 hard, lost 40 pounds, and like that was one of the hardest things I ever did was that 75 hard challenge. And I loved it. And I'm going
Yeah,
to do it
you
again
killed
next year.
that.
Like I'm gonna do it again next year, just because I really like the way it made me feel. Do I think that's for everybody? No, I definitely don't. But I do think it's great for people who just, they want to just challenge themselves and see how far they can take themselves. I think it's a cool thing to do. It's definitely not a lifestyle challenge. It's definitely like a push to get you consistent, and that's about it. But yeah, like there's a lot of things when it comes to, wellness and health and the lifestyle that I think people are starting to miss nowadays. We've like I believe social media has a lot to do with it.
Hmm.
I mean, I there's people I will look at social media and I'm just like, especially, and again, this is not to downgrade anybody, but like surgeries have really messed up a lot of people. Steroids have messed up a lot of people on what is realistic. Am I against any of it? Definitely not. Do you, boo? But like for the people who are just trying to just, feel good about themselves, it's really hard to feel good about yourself when you're comparing yourself to something that's unrealistic,
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
they paid to get. And, like I have another older client. This girl, I love her. She lost the weight, and she looked great. But then she decided she wanted to get surgery. She got the mommy makeover type thing, the BBL, the Lipo 360. I mean, she went all in. She's literally shaped like this now, looks amazing, but that body's not real. But like what I do like about her, even though, when she did it, I was like, really? Because you look good the way you were. But, what I like about her is that even though, yes, she did enhance her body, she's still living a very healthy lifestyle. She still works out, she still eats well, you know, she maintains all of that, because even if you get the surgery, if you don't maintain it, like you're gonna look bad. Like
Yeah.
I don't mean to speak bad about this woman, but Jaden Alexis is probably one of the people that I could say looks bad with their surgery. Like, because she got that surgery without losing weight, and you can see it all in her face, which
Mhm.
is why people calling her Stewie, because her head, don't fit the body, the legs don't fit the butt. Like, like, honey, like
It's true
let
though.
me train you so we can get all that fit and everything. Let's grow them legs so they your butt will look right with it. Like, and it makes me sad because some of these girls, that's what they do. They think, oh, I just need to buy the butt, buy the, buy this, and I will look like that. And some people's bodies are not made to, just mold like
Do
that.
that. They're not. They're not like uh my friend. I'm always gonna be stocky. That's just my body type. I'm always gonna be thick,
Yeah.
stocky, whatever, husky, whatever. That's my body type.
Yeah.
I've had people come to me, why don't you get this surgery? Why don't you get that surgery? Blah 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 blah. I wouldn't feel the same way I feel now if I did get the surgery.
Right.
And I just feel like for my own mental, I had to go through this in order to get to where I want to get to.
Well, it's funny. A lot of people don't even realize, like, especially like weight loss surgeries, you have to lose weight to have the weight loss surgery.
Hmm.
And, a lot of people don't know this about me, but years ago, I did have the lap band. I don't have it anymore. I had to actually have it removed because I was having complications with it, but I did get the lap band surgery. I had to lose 20 pounds just to get the surgery. And you want to talk about somebody that was motivated? I lost the 20 pounds very easily, actually. Why? Because I wanted to get the surgery. So when I realized that I, had to get it reversed and get it taken out and everything else, I'm like, I had to do what I needed to do anyway to have the surgery. And that's what I need to do to lose the weight anyway.
Yep.
Like, and I mean, now granted, yes, there's some people that, they need help. And the thing is about weight loss surgeries that I need for everybody to understand, it is a tool. It is not a fix all. It's not an end all. I've seen people who've gotten gastric bypass where they're literally taking part of your intestines out, and still gain the weight back. Like I said, I had the lap band surgery, and lap band, all it is like your stomach is shaped, like this. They put the band at the very top of the stomach so that you can only eat about 4 ounces of food. However, your stomach is elastic. So you can out eat and stretch out that top part, you know what I mean, and gain weight. And then if they
Jeez.
tighten the band too tight, which is what would happen to me, I wasn't getting any food down. And so it would get stuck in my chest and I would end up throwing up. Like I was getting
Golly.
stuck on water. Like I would try to drink water and just be sitting in my chest and I would have to throw it up. So it was actually working against me. Like I had lost 30 pounds in the first month because I wasn't eating anything. So then of course when I got the lap band taken out, what happened? I started gaining weight again. So what did I have to do? The same thing I did to get the weight, get the lap band in the first place. you know but again, like I said, I'm not against surgeries. I just want people to be educated when they do get the surgeries. A lot of people, especially a lot of females, they don't realize that BBLs are one of the most dangerous surgeries out there. A lot of people actually die on the table, they just don't report
Yeah.
it. They only hear about the people like Jackie O. A
Mhm.
lot of people have died on that table with a BBL.
Yep.
And it is a very dangerous surgery. And just to put this out there, the butt is a muscle, you can grow it. Don't have to have a BBL. Now, no, you may not get the shape that you want because of your body. However, you can grow your butt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the weights will do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's education, and that is one thing that I've always tried to do is with all my clients is educate. Like it's not just getting you to your goals, but teaching you to where whenever you decide to go, okay, I think I'm ready to part ways, that you'll be okay. Like I love hearing like clients that I've had in the past, and they tell me, oh, Alcine, I pulled out one of your old plans, because I just need to, jumpstart myself again or something like that. Like, I love that. I love hearing that. I love hearing people tell me, like, like I told you about the girl who became a trainer, or
Mhm.
people who, decided, oh, I'm going to go run a marathon. And I'm like, oh, really? Because, I hated running, but that's cool that you wanted to run.
You're not by yourself.
I hate running. I hate running. It's funny. I'm about to actually do a Spartan race next year. One of my other friends who's a trainer as well, she really wants me to do the Spartan race for her 40th birthday. And I'm like, I hate, I hate running. Like I remember the very first run I ever did was a 6.5K back in Germany. And the reason why I did it with a client. And this particular client, her name is Michelle. Again, if you're listening, hey girl. So Michelle, she used to take my RIP class. And I called her my ninja because she was taking my class for about 3 months before I even noticed her. I had no idea she was even there. She was so
Wow.
quiet. And she would she strategically placed herself like in the middle back on the side. So I would never see her. And then one day I finally see her and I go, "Oh, hey, welcome to my class. My name is Alcine." She's like, "Yeah, I've been here for like 3 months." I'm like, "Oh." So then I made it a point to make sure that every class I went and spoke to her because I didn't want her to think that I didn't see her anymore. So we became friends, and then she talked me into doing the 6.5K with her. Now, originally, she was going to run the 10K side of it because it was a 6.5, 10K, and half. So like all of us started running at the same time, but there was a path for the 6.5Kers, 10Kers, and the half marathoners. And in Germany, there's a lot of walking. So a lot of these older people, when they run, they run. So you're getting passed up by grannies and grandpas, and that's what was happening to me. So I'm getting pissed off. But we were doing the 6.5K. She found out she was actually pregnant that day, so she didn't do the 10. She ended up running the 6.5. So we start off with the run. I get the first like 2Ks. I'm running the whole time, and I was really proud of myself because I hate running. The only reason why I was running though is because there was people cheering me on, and I did not want to stop in front of them.
That'll
You
do it
know,
every time.
like I had to keep going because they're like, okay. As soon as we got out of the city and I didn't see people no more, I'm like, yep, I'm done. I'm walking. And so we start walking. I see this, patch of grass. I'm like, I can just lay here and be done with it. She's like, no, come on, Alcine. We're almost done. We're almost done. So as we're starting to, end the 6.5K, I start to see the finish line, like as we're about to turn this corner. And I looked at her. I was like, Michelle, when we get past this corner, I'm sprinting. I'm done. I don't want to run anymore. I'm pissed off. I don't want to run anymore. So when we get past this, I'm taking off. And she's like, I don't think you're gonna have the energy to do it. I was like, I don't think you realize how much I hate doing this. I want it over with. And so as soon as we turn that corner, when I tell you I took off, the picture, I gotta find it, and I'll, unfortunately, the people that are listening to the podcast on Spotify or the Apple Podcast, you won't be able to see it. But if you go on YouTube, I'll post the picture of me doing that run, and you gotta, I mean, you could see the anger in my face. It was one of those. So yeah, I'll post the picture so y'all could see my 6.5K. But I was really proud of myself. I finished the 6.5K. Then I had other crazy friends go, well, Alcine, let's do the turkey trot. All right, so now I'm running a turkey trot. Then I flew back from Germany to visit my sister in Atlanta. Now, mind you, that is a 9-hour flight from Germany to Atlanta, okay? I get in, slightly jet lagged. I'm laying down. She goes, oh, yeah, by the way, we're doing the Peach 5K in the morning. Now, if you have never been to Atlanta, there's a lot of hills. That Peach 5K is nothing but hills. So she had me running. Wow. I just got off the plane from Germany. The very next morning, I am running again.
Oh, so, I would have been pissed.
So that's the only time I'll run is when somebody signs me up or makes me go run with them. That I take that back. There was one run that I chose to do. I did an inflatable 5K. And I only did it because it sounded like fun. It's inflatables. Like, who would not want to do inflatables, right? That was like the fun. Worst run I ever did in my life. I would never do an inflatable 5K again.
Why? What happened?
Getting through those inflatables. So imagine everybody's running, you get into the inflatable, now everybody's bouncing, you're getting knocked all over the place, you're fighting to get out of the inflatable, you're out of breath just trying to get out the inflatable, so now you're tired. And now you got to run to the next inflatable. So by the time you get to like the third inflatable, you are dead because you're bouncing all around, trying to run through. It is the most exhausting 5K I've ever done in my life. The most exhausting 5K. I will never do it again. Now, that sounds like I would do again, though, is the color run.
Now, what's that?
So the color run, it's a 5K, and they have stations at every K, and they throw colors at you. So by the time you're done, you are covered in different colors.
And, oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's really fun. And at the end of the race, everybody has like their little pouch. They get to throw the colors. I would just recommend make sure you bring a change of clothes and put some plastic down in your car because it does get all over the place. But that was a fun run. Like I actually enjoyed that one. But yeah, the inflatable, it sounded fun. It looked fun. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Well, I swear I will never ever do an inflatable 5K again.
That's good to know then.
I mean, I take that back. I won't say I'll never do it again. I probably would do it again with the right people, just so we could all die together. Yeah, yeah. You know, yeah.
Get Chris out
You
there
know,
with you.
for the AlcineXtreme Fitness retreat, we'll do a no. Do an inflatable 5K.
I'll do it.
I mean, you know what? Maybe I could figure something out where we could do something like that, where we all come down and we could do an inflatable or do some type of run or some type of group exercise, a Spartan race or something like that, you know. Because you know, it's not about, you know, being the fastest, it's about just completing it, you know, when you're doing stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we could figure something out. But I think we're gonna wrap up the podcast. What I've been doing at the end of every podcast is my guests, I have them say something inspirational to the people listening, you know, just a thought, a saying, you know, or just something you feel. Yeah, put you on the spot.
Um, okay. Like you and I talked about, you're always gonna have failure with your success when you're trying to achieve your success. Excuse me. Now, when I signed up with you, I've had, of course, my share of failures and stuff, but kept going. I know it's easier said than done, but whether you complete it or not, keep going. So if one day, whether it's fitness, whether you're trying to study something, no matter what it is, if you're exhausted because everybody works hard out here and times are crazy and there's a lot that goes on that can wear on your mind. Take that time for yourself and just keep going, whether it's just you're studying something, whether it's one chapter a day, whether you're working out and it's you didn't complete 4 exercises, but you completed 3. Come back the next day and do a little more. That's one of the things that you taught me that has kept me going. And you do that, you will see success. Hey, and what you give is what you get. You give it your all, whether you complete it that day or not. That's fine. Move on to the next day and do a little more. But you will see what you give is what you get.
Love it. It's perfect.
Okay, bet.
It's perfect. All right. Well, again, thank you so much, Garrett, for being on here today. I'm so glad I got to do this with you.
Nah, this is awesome. This was awesome. Thank you so much. This was the best.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess I'll see you in the app. Oh, because yeah, we got the Gains Giving Challenge going on right now. And